Okay, starting from full guard, we've been breaking posture, so getting him forward. Even geen handen. So like this, and trying to isolate. For that we've used our legs as well as our hands. Okay. What is tough is when their hands are inside, on the inside position, and also when I just pull them forward like this. There's nothing stopping him from going back up, right? So you have to deal with this. Okay. So the position that I'm going to show you today is going to be the overhook full guard, and we're going to do a triangle from that, and it will take a lot of steps, so pay close attention. This is the arm that's blocking me the most, so I'm going to take this one away. What I'll do is I'll grab it here on the sleeve, and my other hand will go on my own wrist. I will pull it up here, and as I'm pulling forward with my legs, I'm sticking my hand through, and I'm going for the overhook right here. So what is an overhook? It's literally my arm hooking over his arm. When I'm doing just this, you can just sit up and pull his arm out. So this is not enough for me to control him, right? So as soon as I have this, I will grab his head and move to the side here. I'm putting pressure with this leg on the shoulder as well as my overhook, basically pulling him forward a bit. From this position, he'll try to stand up again, or needs to get up, and I'm going to make this more difficult for him. Okay. Of course, you can grab the gi, and there's also a couple of variations where you go under the leg, like this, but we're just going to stay with the basic variation where you're overhooking right here. The overhook should be deep, near the armpit, pulling him forward a bit, getting him out of his base. This hand here will hold the head as long as you're not doing anything else with the hand. So, pressure down. Don't close the guard here. There's actually less pressure with the knee on the shoulder. Yeah. Okay, so once again. So we're here trying to pull him in. This arm is blocking. This one is doing the most of the blocking. So grab the sleeve, stick your other hand underneath, grab your wrist like a kimura. And I'm going to pull up, and when I'm up, my legs pull him in, and I'm sticking my arm through and hooking over his arm, creating an overhook. From here, go sideways, grab the head, put pressure with your knee onto his shoulder. We're going to stay in this position for, let's say, 5 seconds, and he's going to try and recover his position, and I'm going to try and adjust a little bit so that I can keep him in this place. Okay, so show this again. Okay, now we reset. Okay, boom. This is only one way of doing it, right? There's many ways to go to this position. Since we're working with the gi, this is probably one that will happen a lot. Sometimes also in self-defense, you can use it when they start to punch with one or two. You can catch and overhook and go to this position, right? We're not doing punching today, so lucky me. So when you see this setup, don't think like this is the only way to do it. You just have to get to this position. That's good enough. Okay. So from here, we're going to try and set up a triangle. For me, to get a triangle, it will take a lot of steps. So we're just going to repeat the steps, and eventually we're going to end up in this triangle position. As you see, his arm here is blocking this knee here. It's stuck. So what I'll do is I'll use this hand, and as you can see, I'm moving away a little bit, and I'm pushing until my knee is free. This way, I'm very strong. If I'm pushing Here, I'm not strong. Also, he's got the inside position. So here, elbow close to my body, push, it's open. When the knee is free, I'm putting my foot on his hip, and the hand here is going to the triceps. I'm putting on his triceps so that his arm is stuck on my shin. If I wouldn't do this, he might push this down and he will pass my guard. All this work is for nothing. Okay. So foot on the hip. I need to squeeze a little bit with my knees here. There's still one way that he can go. If he comes forward, puts pressure, and now he'll probably put me back into his guard. So in order to stop this, I have two options. If you're flexible, you can take your foot and put it on this shoulder right here. Yeah, basically blocking him. So if he tries to come forward now, I'll be attached to him. The other option, if you're not that flexible, is to let go of the arm here and put the arm right here on the shoulder. Same thing. I'm blocking him from coming in. Okay, so I'm more flexible, so I'll prefer putting my foot here. Now I need to pass this arm to create a triangle, but from this position I cannot do it, so I'm actually going to go flat on my back, the thing that he thinks is good for him. Sometimes they do it for you, and my hand on the tricep will slip to his wrist, or even better, hand. I'm pushing his arm backwards. Don't have to push all the way back, just here, so that my foot can pass his elbow right here. Yeah? And as I'm doing that, you notice that this knee is not opening like this, because if he releases the hand and he pushes down, my guard is passed. So I'm staying very tight, like this. Even if now he gets his hand free, it's still stuck. I'm switching my legs over. I'm completing the triangle. Finishing the triangle, we're going to do after this. So we're just getting to this position right here. Yeah? Sorry? Why do you switch? I switch because this is the proper way to do the triangle. That's the first reason. And if I get more technical, this leg is shutting off this part of his neck, and by locking the triangle here, this knee is pushing into the other side of his leg. Yeah? When I'm doing it like this, it's almost impossible to finish the triangle like this. There are some ways, but too difficult. Yeah, I don't do it. Okay. So a lot of steps. I'll go over them once again. We're going to the overhook guard. Boom. We're just staying with this setup, but remember there are many setups. His arm is blocking my leg, my knee. So bring your elbow close to your body, hands on the biceps, and push not just with your arm, but with your entire body, like this. As soon as the knee is free, bring the foot towards the hip and grab the triceps. Squeeze the knees a little bit, and now you have the option to block his movement forward, to either put the foot on the shoulder or your hand, depending on how flexible you are. I prefer this one. As he's trying to do this, sometimes they're going to be in the position that I want to go anyway. If they're staying put, I'll just move myself. So here, now I'm flat on my back. My hand goes from the triceps down to the wrist or hand, but never one finger, right? So just always the hand. Push his elbow back, knee stays connected, and pass his elbow. Sometimes this is hard, but as you can see, my legs are really long relative to boss. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. But what helps sometimes is turning your hips out a little bit so that you can pass more to the side like this. Yeah? Then bring them over, and here we catch the shin and lock it up. Applying or finishing the triangle we're going to do afterwards. Yes? Okay.
How would you set up the triangle if you use the non-flexible option?
So pretty much the same thing. We're going asking for a friend, right? Yeah. So pretty much the same thing. He's gonna be pushing forward maybe. Gonna go here. Boom. So just the same thing, but just using your hand instead of your leg. Alright? We are in the triangle finally. His arm is actually on the outside here. We end up in the position like this, right? Everybody recognizes this. It may look different to some people if you have shorter legs or your opponent's bigger or smaller. But what we all should have in common is that one leg is around the neck and the other one against the shoulder on top. Like this. Yeah. I want to get my foot inside my knee. I should never pull on my own foot, because if I do and he postures up and I'm still holding on to my foot, you may break your foot. I've seen it happen before, so don't think it won't happen to you, because it will happen. Always take the shin. If you're flexible or have long legs like me, you can just pull like this, and now you're locked. The triangle's locked, so this foot is inside the knee right here. If you're not flexible or don't have long legs, you need to create an angle. You'll do this by underhooking the arm. You can actually step on the floor, but keep holding onto your shin. If it's trying to posture up, this is enough pressure to keep him down. Grab here, turn, and lock. Okay. What I want to accomplish by creating an angle is getting good pressure on the neck. If everybody would look from up to down, you can see the shoulder right here. And people can see the shoulder here? So if I'm squeezing right now, part of my squeeze is going into his shoulder. What I should do, I should create an angle all the way until you don't see the shoulder inside the triangle anymore. Yeah? And usually you can feel it. If I start to squeeze now, I don't need to squeeze hard. I didn't squeeze hard. You can see my face, it was relaxed. Yeah. We have to squeeze. Remember, we don't extend. If I do it like this, I'm actually putting more power now, and he's already kind of escaping. Yeah. So remember, when you're doing a choke, you're bringing him in. So your knees are coming to your chest like this. And it's a tap. Okay? Obviously, you can see you don't want to do this 10 minutes long. So what I want you guys to do is to start in the triangle position, whether your foot is under the shin or if you're lucky it's already under the knee. You're going to create an angle, grabbing the shin as well. Move. And as soon as you feel that the shoulder is no longer inside your triangle, here, you can start to apply. You can reach under the arm, even better, under the leg, or if that's not available, under the body like this, here. And this is really easy to apply. You should never be squeezing like this. If you squeeze a little bit and it's good.